G'day, just a heads up before we get into it. This video deals with the subject of child sexual abuse. The discussion may be distressing or triggering for some people. Please look after yourself and remember that it's okay to stop watching if you need to.
G'day, and welcome back to the Enterprise Tech Playbook. As a dad of two little legends myself, the world of early childhood education and care, or ECEC, is something I live and breathe every single day. When we talk about data management and the security within that space, it's not just theoretical for me, it's very close to my home. Today, we're going to be diving into a topic that's not just about the efficiency or innovations, but something far more fundamental: protecting our kids. Recent devastating incidents, particularly those that have come to light from Victoria over the allegations of a particular childcare worker, have really underscored how critical IT's role is in safeguarding our most vulnerable members of society, our children. For IT leaders and aspiring professionals, undertaking these challenges and implementing robust solutions is no longer an option. It's an absolute imperative. In this episode, we'll unpack the core themes that define the landscape, highlighting how IT isn't just a support function, but a central pillar of children protection. This is going to be a two-part video. Let's get stuck into part one. At the very heart of every decision we make regarding data in the ECEC sector is the paramount goal of child safety. This isn't just corporate social responsibility initiative. It's the fundamental purpose driving data collection, storage, and the use. Think about it from a parent's perspective. When I drop my kids off, I'm entrusting the centre with their safety. Increasingly, that includes the safety of their digital footprint. Whether we're talking about the efficient processing of working with children's check, the secure sharing of information, or the implementation of surveillance technologies, every IT decision must align and actively enhance the safety and well-being of the children. The devastating nature of the recent incidents had undeniably sharpened this focus, making it clear that IT is a critical enabler in building a robust, multi-layered safety net around children. Data is a tool for safeguarding, and understanding this core purpose is the first step for any IT professional in this space. Let's look at the imperative of robust data security and privacy by design. The ECEC sector holds some of the most sensitive personal information imaginable. We're talking about children's full names, date of births, addresses, medical conditions, family details, and highly sensitive incident reports. Imagine the data in the wrong hands, your parents' worst nightmare. This makes ECEC organisations incredibly attractive targets for cyber criminals. In fact, Australian statistics often show that the education sector, which includes ECEC, as a frequent reporter of cybersecurity incidents. It means data security and privacy cannot be an afterthought. They must be designed from the very beginning of any system or process. This includes several critical layers. Encryption is fundamental. We need to ensure sensitive data is both encrypted at rest for those non-IT people, means when it is stored on servers or databases or in a cloud environment, and in transit as it moves between the networks or between different applications or third-party services. This acts as a powerful barrier against any unauthorized access, even if the system is breached. We need to be ensuring that there is secure storage, whether at the ECEC center, uses on-premise servers, or relies heavily on a cloud provider. The storage solution must meet stringent security standards. This includes the consideration like physical security for hardware and robust network segmentation, and regular vulnerability assessments. Clear data retention and destruction policies are also crucial here, which is one of the main things that we'll be diving into part 2 of this video. And also incident response. With the new mandates, such as the 72-hour reporting deadline for ransomware payments under Australia's new cybersecurity laws, organisations need mature incident response plans. This means having systems in place for rapid detection, containment, eradication, and recovery, coupled with the clear communication protocols to regulators and affected individuals. This robust approach to security and privacy forms the bedrock, but it's only truly effective when combined with stringent access controls, the non-negotiable role of secure access controls, both multi-factor authentication and also role-based access control. This theme is where your actionable insights truly come to life for IT professionals. Access to the data is the gateway to its compromise, and without stringent controls, even the most well-intentioned system can become vulnerable. This is particularly true for the highly sensitive data found across ECEC systems, including detailed children records, staff employment histories, incident logs, and especially CCTV footage. As a parent, I want to know that only the right people have eyes on information about what my kids are doing. This is precisely why we need to be ensuring that the access to these systems is controlled by multi-factor authentication and also role-based access control. These are absolutely indispensable. Now, when we speak about role-based access control, yes, this is typically something that we say within the enterprise landscape, but we also need to be thinking about it from the childcare sector. Exactly who has access to all of the information about our children. Multi-factor authentication is the line of first defense. For anyone who is listening who's not a IT professional, most of us by now have understood what multi-factor authentication is because it is being introduced to more and more applications these days. That's a really good thing. If you don't know what it is, it's where this requires users to verify their identity using at least 2 different factors before gaining access. These typically fall under a few different categories. So it's something like a password or a PIN. It's something you have, such as a phone for receiving your code via SMS or an authenticator app, a hardware token, or a smart card. And it's best to use a multi-factor app. Relying on SMS is becoming a little insecure these days. And something you are. Biometrics, such as fingerprint or facial scan. Now, why is this absolutely crucial in ECEC? Simple passwords are no longer enough to protect against phishing attacks, credential stuffing, or brute force attempts. For any system holding sensitive ECEC data, whether it is child management platforms, staff HR systems, or a CCTV interface, MFA must be mandatory for all staff accessing it. This significantly reduces the risk of compromised credentials, leading to a data breach or unauthorized access to sensitive child information footage. It's fundamental security hygiene step. Now, some of the challenges that we may be facing here of implementing MFA can sometimes be facing hurdles such as user friction, compatibility with older legacy applications that may not support MFA, or initial training requirements. However, trust me, the security benefits are going to far outweigh these challenges. And with those legacy systems, there are some third-party MFA apps that can be hooking in through APIs. With regards to role-based access control, once a user is authorized via the MFA, their RBAC determines precisely what data they can see and what actions they can perform, based on their specific job role and the principles of least privileged. This means granting only the minimum permissions necessary for an individual to carry out their duties. Now, why is this crucial in ECEC? Not everyone needs access to sensitive data. There's a saying within federal government is the needs to know policy, and it is needs to know, not nice to know. For instance, a centre director might have a comprehensive RBAC permissions for reviewing all incident reports and CCTV footage across the entire centre for investigative purposes. A lead educator might have RBAC access limited to children attendance data for their specific room and potentially CCTV footage relevant to their direct supervision area. Whereas an administrative assistant might only have RBAC access to basic enrolment details and billing information with no access to sensitive health records or specific incident logs. The benefits here, RBAC minimizes the risk of internal misuse, accidental data exposure, or a privilege creep, where individuals accumulate more access than they need to over time. Combined with MFA, RBAC ensures robust accountability as audit logs can accurately track who has accessed what and when with verified identities. A question over to you in the community. How can IT leaders effectively map out and implement granular MFA for secure login and RBAC for precise permissions across all their ECEC systems, particularly for highly sensitive data like CCTV footage and child protection records to ensure both security and accountability? Let us know in the comments on what your thoughts are. The push for interoperability and secured information sharing. Since the incident within Victoria, there has been lots of discussions around a fragmented information sharing system. In my view, the fragmented information is a critical weakness within child protection areas. As highlighted by the Royal Commission into Institutional Response to Child Sexual Abuse and the subsequent government initiatives, effective child safety often relies on secure and controlled exchange of information between various entities. As a parent, I understand that sometimes, for the safety of my kids, information might need to flow between the childcare centres, their schools, or even government agencies. Let's have a look at this. Within the government initiatives, schemes like the Victorian Information Sharing Scheme, which permits prescribed organisations, including ECEC services, to share confidential information to support children's well-being or safety, often prioritising safety over individuals' privacy where legally permitted. Another key initiative is ChildLink, a digital tool in Victoria consolidating a child's participation in early childhood and education services and childcare protection order history for authorised professionals. These are significant moves towards a more integrated approach. And I will be linking all of the sources in the show notes. Working with children checks. The need for a stronger alignment and potentially a national database for working with children checks, or WWCC, processes is frequently discussed. This would enable faster, more comprehensive background checks and help identify individuals who might attempt to move between services or states, similar to what we have seen in the alleged incidents that occurred in Victoria. Now, what are the implications for IT professionals? For these schemes to work, IT systems must be capable of an auditable database exchange. This often requires standardized data formats, secure APIs, or integrated portals. Critically, the security of these connections with MFA and authenticated users, including RBAC, to control what specific data they can access and share is paramount to prevent unauthorized disclosures during transfers. Question for the community who are watching. What are the significant architectural and data governance challenges in building a seamless, secure interoperability between disparate government and ECEC systems for the child's safety? And how can IT leadership drive these crucial integrations, ensuring that it is secure and safe? The Australian ECEC sector is operating with an increasingly stringent regulatory environment, and IT leaders need to be acutely aware of this. Just as parents rely on centres to follow the regulations for physical security, we're now relying on them to follow digital safety rules too. There's been a number of new cybersecurity laws, such as the Cybersecurity Act 2024. This introduces the mandatory cybersecurity measures and compliance requirements for various sectors, including education. Failure to comply can result in significant penalties and reputational damage. This directly impacts IT's responsibility for proactive security measures, incident response planning, and ensuring the resilience against threats like ransomware. And there is also the Privacy Act compliance. ECEC services must comply with the Privacy Act of 1988, including the Notifiable Data Breach or NDB scheme, which requires reporting breaches likely to cause serious harm. This reinforces the need for robust data security and transparent data management practices. One of the responses from the alleged incidents that have occurred in Victoria is the discussion of CCTV footage. Whilst it's not universal yet, there is an expectation from myself that the mandated CCTV in ECEC settings is going to continue to grow, particularly in the light of these recent incidents. This brings a whole new set of data management and security challenges. And as I mentioned, we are going to be exploring that topic on its own in part 2. My question to the community: how can IT leaders effectively interpret and comply with this increasingly stringent regulatory landscape, translating legal requirements into practical, secure IT operations, particularly concerning data access and reporting? Let us know in the comments below. And on to our final theme, the operational readiness. No amount of tech, no matter how advanced, can fully replace robust organizational practices and a strong security culture. Human errors remains a significant vulnerability, and the most sophisticated security systems can be undermined if staff aren't properly engaged and trained. As a parent, I trust the staff at my kids' schools, and I trusted them when they went to the daycare centres, not only to care for them, but also to handle their information responsibly. Staff training and awareness is an ongoing practical training that should include cyber hygiene, secure data handling, and the proper use of systems that is absolutely non-negotiable. This training must explicitly cover the importance of MFA for protecting their own access and how RBAC, or in their terms, would be the data that they have access to, and importantly, the data they don't have access to, and how that plays into their responsibilities regarding the data access and use. Staff truly need to understand that they are the first line of defense. ECEC organizations are increasingly and understandably relying on third-party software and service providers for everything from their enrollment platforms to their communication apps, and of course, outsourced IT for the smaller centers. The center's owners and directors must conduct due diligence, ensuring that these vendors meet the same high security and high privacy standards, including their own robust implementation of MFA and IBAC for their staff accessing the ECEC data. This is what is going to mostly reduce supply chain risk. Now, that's a big topic, and I'm not going to go into that now. The final question to IT pros. How can ECEC organizations, especially the smaller ones with limited IT resources, cultivate a robust cybersecurity culture that empowers all staff to be part of the defense against data breaches and misuse, and effectively manage the risk posed by third-party vendors? As you can see, the challenges for IT in the ECEC sector is broad, deep, and incredibly important. It's about designing security systems and enforcing strict access controls with MFA and role-based access control, navigating complex regulations, and fostering a vigilant culture. All of this fundamentally to enhance the child's safety. For me, and I'm sure for many of you out there who are parents or have young family members, it's about peace of mind. Next time on the Enterprise Tech Playbook, we're going to take a deep dive into perhaps one of the most challenging aspects of ECEC data, and that is CCTV footage. We'll explore its unique security requirements, the continuous issue of data retention over long periods, and the complex ethical tightropes of parental consent. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for your time. And as always, keep learning, keep evolving, and lead with impact.